just had a realization that from an experience perspective, I don't know. From an experience perspective, I don't know who or what God is. Yes, I've learned about God or it or whatever, But like, these other experiences of like, how can I say? It's like I've been in love, so I know that love is real. I know, I know it's real. Like no one can tell me otherwise. Even if I've had very uncomfortable, very character developing relations with um, with people after falling in love, but that doesn't erase the fact that falling in love was like the best thing that I've ever experienced. You know, like even if every relationship after that was like meh, or whatever, but then from an experience perspective, I know that falling in love is like very, 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 very like nah. It's very good. It's very expanding. It's very enriching, man. It's very rejuvenating. It's very scintillating. It's quite nice, And for example, I haven't had that experience with God, you know. I've had an experience with Jesus, with Yeshua, where I've hugged him and my spirit guides, yeah. But I can't say for definite that I know that they're real. Cause getting a hug is not so. I don't know, man. Like, so I'm just saying, like, from an experience perspective, like knowledge wise, okay, yes, but in terms of wisdom, you know, like, this is like another epiphany I've had, like, not too long ago from now, probably like a few hours back, where I had a realization where there's a difference between wisdom, like there's a knowledge based wisdom and there's an experiential based wisdom. So there's wisdom, for example, when I think about Shazam, right? Shazam is like something of wisdom. I don't know, not too sure, but he has, I don't know, magical wisdom or whatnot. But then because he's still a young boy, you know, he has knowledge of that wisdom, but because he has a certain amount of life experience, he doesn't have experiential wisdom that he can actually apply, having gained certain having experienced certain circumstances, and it's like uh being told, well, knowing how to being told, like let's say you learn something, for example, okay, the globe, right, or the world, the earth, blah 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 blah, whatever, whether you're a flat earther or if you're a spherical earther, right? But then you've learned about all this stuff, but have you actually seen it with your own eyes? Like, have you actually gone out from well, gone out of the atmosphere and all of that, or just being there in space and having seen it yourself and be like, hey yo, damn, the earth is like, whether you believe it's flat or whether you believe it's a sphere, but like, have you actually ever seen it and been like, yo, like, yeah, I learned about this, but now I've seen it myself, so no one can tell me otherwise because I know it, So like, I've learned about God, I've studied, you know, different philosophies and all of that about God, but I do not know God from an experiential perspective. I don't know God, and this is like, me coming to be honest with myself, because like, I know, like, this also ties in with like I could say like manifesting and myself, like I can learn all these things, but do I know myself? Do I really know who I am? Nah, I'm still learning. But I wanna go even beyond learning, and I wanna start knowing, I wanna start knowing, because this like relates to like the manifesting stuff where you can want, for example, I can want something, but then advanced level of manifesting is knowing that you already have it, right? As soon as you desire it, you just go to the end, which is the fulfillment. Yes, I studied that, but then I'd love to get to a point where I know that I know it without even having to be intrigued by the next law of attraction, law of assumption video, or manifesting video. Like, know it to such a point where it's like, whatever I come across now is purely for fun. It's purely for experimenting purposes. It's like, no, okay, now there's a new technique I learned about, and I'm just gonna experiment with it, And yeah, I just love to know myself and be myself, man. I've had like these experiences with certain like people, right? And then it's like, okay, when I did something nice for them, or when I was doing something that they liked me. So it was like a conditional thing. But then when I wasn't doing this thing, like for example, this female that I know, right, that I got with, and then when I did nice things for her, she loved me. It made her feel good. But then when I wasn't doing those things, okay, I can't say that she didn't love me, but I can say that you can feel when the love is coming your way, and you can feel when it's not coming your way. So it's like when I wasn't doing something, I couldn't feel it coming, but when I was doing something, I could feel it come, and that like got me thinking, like, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, man. It just got me thinking, like, for example, like my grandmother, right? Through all of my stages, all of my phases in life, she's always like loved me, right? Like consistently, whether I was doing something she approved of or she didn't approve of, but she was still like there for me, still cared for me, still loved me, you know. There's like other people where they love me when I do whatever they want me to do, or when they approve of whatever it is that I'm doing, but they don't love me when I'm doing my own thing, whether I'm on a badness, like it's like a conditional love. And also, like, with that, I want to have like a conditional knowing, like, of God, like, because it's like right now I can pray or whatever, but then that prayer is not really backed up, because it's like I don't really know God. So even if I'm praying to God, I'm praying to something that I don't know, which is actually like weird, because it's like, yeah, I'm taught that, but I haven't experienced it. I mean, I could have all these good experiences, but that doesn't prove that I know God. Because if I learn from what I've learned, that God gives everything. So even if you want something bad to happen to you, even that is given freely, because of how much we are loved by Him or it. But then, do I know that? Nope. So this other video of this other lady, right, on Instagram, and then she was like, "Oh, we are so loved by God, like we can't even understand and whatnot." And like, as an empath, I could feel that love, that resonance, all that light. But then I can only feel it because of like, my gift as an empath, my ability as an empath. But from an experiential level, it's just like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I don't know it. I don't know. I don't know if it's real because I haven't experienced it yet, and I can say that, you know, oh, from having learned about like God and stuff, it's like, oh no, God is pure consciousness. God is everything that you see, hear, smell, taste, touch, all of that. Like, you know, God is everything. Yeah, I've learned about that, but have I experienced it? Nope. Nope. And that's where I want to get to a point where I can have that conviction, like how Jesus, Yeshua, had that conviction that I mean, the way he was able to manifest was a byproduct of his conviction, because he believed to such a point where he knew it. He knew it. He saw it. He saw, like, you could see God, right? Manifested in everything. He could see the Spirit. He could see all of that. Yeah, I'd love to get to that point where, I mean, even that initiation, I'd love to go through my own initiation of, I mean, he was intuitively led to go into the desert, I remember back in the day, like in 2020, I tried to do something. I was forcing myself to fast so I can have like a similar experience, but then it's like I was led to it intuitively. It reminds me of the first time I did like a gratitude. Actually, I don't want to call it a gratitude marathon, but like I was like purposefully, right? I'd watched the video one night and I'd purposely just been saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, regardless of whatever was happening, whatever I was feeling. I was just saying thank you, thank you, even when my chest was burning, like it wasn't like sort of pain and discomfort. I was just saying thank you, thank you, thank you, and from that came like this moment where it's like I blacked out, like where I genuinely was. I was like blissed out, like it's like I don't know. It's like I was tripping basically. I was tripping off of gratitude. Like I was in a blissful state where I like I swear if there was there was a wall in front of me. If there wasn't a wall, I would have like fallen down. Like literally, I would have fainted from the amount of joy and bliss that was pulsating through me. So that I know is like, okay, I've experienced that. I know that when you practice gratitude, regardless of what happens, that will be the outcome. But then, like with God, it's like, but even with that, like it was such an intuitive thing because I've been doing it now, but I haven't had like the same, like sort of similar results. Like it's like, yeah, now and then something will happen, but like it's not very, okay, I'm gonna compare the experiences, but like, yeah. Anyway, that's just me, sharing my epiphanies and things I was just thinking about. Yeah, thank you for your time. I love you. Bye.